Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Family Podcast with your two favorite brothers. My name is Sammy.
My name is Don.
And welcome to the show, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome. And we have, you know what, yeah? I was going to say a special guest, but I can't say that because we say that with everyone, innit?
Yeah.
So this is like a family member, innit? You've been on the show a couple times. You hang out with man. Lost in the FIFA tournament.
Vibes.
It's all good though.
No, right?
No, I can't even say that because man's FIFA tournament was techie, bro, as well.
Yeah,
still,
it was still.
But it is what it is. But then no one could talk because none of us won still. No one sitting here won.
Yeah, but I got to the final.
No, I don't care. We'll talk about winners.
Okay, fine.
You took it out, innit?
Yeah, take it for the losers right now. We're in the same boat.
Yeah.
It took some of us longer than
bare humility. Yeah.
So Lou, how are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. The universal, I'm okay. I was talking to Don about this recently, wasn't I? And saying about it's so easy just to be like, oh, I'm okay. Because he must have said it to me, and then I was like, are you sure though? Like, are you sure you're okay? Like, just try to dig a little bit because I think we're so used to just saying it, and then someone goes, okay, then that's nice, and then just go on your merry way. So yeah, I'm alright.
Yeah.
I'm alright. Yeah.
Yeah, getting there.
Like plodding along.
It's hard, isn't it? Like because I think that there's this expectation that you're supposed to be okay. Like people are asking it, but it's like, no, I don't actually want you to say anything other than the script.
Yeah.
Can't like you're pissed if you talk to me, fam. Cause I like talking, so don't ask me if you think I'm okay if you don't want to hear it. Cause I'm about to go into it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm not okay, I just tell you straight in it. Cause I like venting in it. It's my way of going back to the neutral. So it's very important for me personally in it to be able to speak about things when people ask me questions. If you don't want to hear it, just don't ask me in it.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
No, I hear that. And Don, how are you?
Man's blessed, you know.
Yeah,
blessed. Like yesterday, you know me, I thrive more when I've got a little bit of stuff to do and I'm under a decent amount of pressure in it. And that's one of the things that I noticed about myself in it. If there's no urgency, because for me, like urgency, like efficiency, is not necessarily attributed to I don't know, productivity. You know what I'm saying? Like something can be productive and take a very long time to get right. And so I try not to stress myself in terms of trying to do things as efficiently as people say, because sometimes the product doesn't actually replicate what you're about because you rushed it. You know, you can't, like, imagine you told your new son, yeah, fam, how comes you're not like Faith's age, fam? Like, you should be walking by now, brother. Like, you're the son. Do you know what that means? You carry my blood. Whoop, brother. Do you get what I'm saying? You just came out with like a week ago in that.
About a week ago.
So for me, like, it's very important that I cultivate the culture that I want to live in it. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have deadlines as people in it, because, as you know, people can get very relaxed. But I think there needs to be a level of compassion in it. So for me, I like things at my pace, innit? I've said that bare.
Yeah, it's mad because I was about 2 weeks ago. I was watching this documentary on Walt Disney, and it was talking about like in the 1930s. Like imagine that time, and he was like, "I don't want cartoons to be this silly thing," you know, because at the time it was like Tom and Jerry, really slapstick type of stuff, and he's like, "Nah, big man, I'm trying to make a movie, an animated movie," and so he did it with Cinderella, and he went like $1 million over the budget. It took so long. Yeah, he had people bringing in elephants so they could look at it. There was this teenage girl and she was dancing, and the animators had to try and capture every frame. They said it was painstaking. No, hours and hours and hours just drawing. Like you draw one, like, because if somebody waves, you got to draw the entire
sequence,
full expression. And they're like, Disney was like a man who was like, listen, bro, that smile is off key. People don't smile like that. Go back and look at somebody smiling. Every single detail.
I respect it.
Yeah. And then you got Cinderella. And then he went even more brazy with it when he put out Pinocchio. And then Pinocchio got like a lot of reviews, and this is generational. It's changed our time. And then Disney's become
household name.
Yeah, who he is.
Still around now, isn't it?
Exactly,
So-
because of that attention to detail.
You see, my thing, yeah, I believe that the world tries to rush you, innit? Like, and
100.
I agree that sometimes rushing is necessary, innit? But come on, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
come on, bro.
yeah, man. Like, imagine, yeah, you had a conversation with Rox about your wedding, yeah, and it was slapdash done in 5 minutes, and then it got to wedding day. We're like, what you expecting, bro?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. You have a conversation. You're like, yep. What color do you like? I like purple. All right, cool. What are we gonna wear? I'm gonna wear a bridal dress, and you're gonna wear a suit. All right, cool. Looks like wedding set then. Who does that?
Yeah.
But
That's
like when
crazy.
you work in a certain environment day to day, a lot of the time it's like, where's the deadline? Have you done this? Remember, we've got to meet capabilities. Remember, we've got to do this. That's not the way life works, my brother.
Just do it as quick as you can, innit? Like,
Fam, you don't rush life. Like, fam, like imagine being in summer and being like, bro, why is it not autumn?
I had this
It's
line.
dumb.
Yeah. And it was like blind to the fact that our profession is life. Like everybody thinks that their job is life.
No, yeah,
Like,
that's not.
But it's how you live, how you talk, how you embrace people, how you go about your day, like your daily habits. Like that's your career. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's actually your career, and you show up at work to do the work, obviously. And if you're lucky, it's a job that edifies you. But outside of that, that's really your life, like your life story. When people who've never been in your workplace come across you and they're like, oh, Sam's a nice guy, or this person's this or this person's that. That's your life's work. When you tell people about your ideas, that's your life's work. Like you spent ages thinking about these things that are really important to you. Like for me, family, like masculinity and what that means for me as a person, my ideas on it. That's my life's work.
Yeah, no,
Do you feel what
I
I'm saying?
spoke about that with Sam actually. We was talking about that, about exactly what you're saying about jobs. That tomorrow, if something happened, they'd replace you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You know, like if something happened to you, like your health or something that you couldn't come to work for a little while, they don't care like that. They act like they care, but they don't. And me and Sam were saying like, we need to live more. We need to, exactly what you've just said, Sammy, like we need to appreciate who we are and what we believe in, and come away from like our jobs are not our life. They are there to help us in our lives because we need money and all that kind of stuff. But there are some people that get so caught up in it and think that that's their life. They go there and think these people, some of them are right, they may be your friends, but you're only friends with them because you're in a workplace. Sometimes you take you out of that environment. These people you'd be friends with, probably not. Like, so
that's fact.
yeah,
I
agree
that.
with that.
I had people who I thought were like genuine friends, went round to their house like while we were working and stuff, and got invited to barbecues. Then they left, and I like a couple of weeks later, I send them a message. Oh, how's your new job? How you getting on? Nothing.
Yeah, radio silence. Yeah.
And then you realize like, oh, okay, this is because we were in close proximity together, and you made an effort to make the workplace more enjoyable.
Yeah.
But you didn't consider me a friend.
No.
You know, and
no, definitely.
I always say that to my mum as well. Like, I'm not gonna die for my job. The people who if you were to end up dying for your job, you know that people will be like, yeah, sorry, I couldn't get annual leave to go to your funeral.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Do you feel what I'm saying? The same people you done broke your back for, got dementia, stroke, and all the rest of it, all the stress, anxiety.
Some people
depression.
don't even rate you while you're doing it.
That's what I'm saying.
So what makes you think that in the end that they're gonna rate you?
They're just gonna be like, oh, what a shame that happened to that brother, but you know, he didn't really do his work that good, you know.
Yeah, no,
you know,
true.
it's all a bit techie. So like live your life, innit? And know that you're more than your job title.
Yeah.
That's what I would
And
say.
the real challenge, what you just said right there a minute ago, is put distance and all that stuff between you and, let's say, even friends in it. That's when you see if what's real, what's true, because it's so easy, like you said, like when we're going to work every day, you build those relationships because it's so intense and you're there, and you know things happen because you see these people every day. Come out of that and then see how much people talk to you still, how much people make the effort. Like that is where the real truth lies. But
yeah, that is very true. Yeah, man. Very motivational start to the podcast, man.
Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
think, do you know what? I don't think you even introduced my name. You know.
Yes.
You went,
no, I did.
and then you started cussing at me that I lost at FIFA, and then with a losers table. And let me just disclaimer: I thought I was playing the PlayStation. I came in, it was Xbox.
Oh, look at
Now,
that.
let me look at the camera.
Disclaimer. All right,
Xbox.
cool.
I don't play X, but I was sitting there on my phone looking at the buttons. You know? And I was like, "What is this? Shoot! This is because I thought it was PlayStation." These actually even
Don't worry, I got you,
my
bro.
name.
All right, so the next time
100% you did say her name, innit? We can
You
rewind
said
it back.
Lou, but I feel like you didn't go.
You didn't
I
give
didn't
me
even
proper-
say like
yeah.
good
Didn't give you a
afternoon
proper
or
intro.
hello everyone.
Okay, yeah,
It's
so
Lou.
let's give Lou the proper introduction. Welcome to the show, Lou.
Yeah.
10 minutes in.
These little party poppers now, like little sirens. I'm here.
Oh man, so today, yeah, this is the first time we've actually had a topic, yeah, with a guest on the show, because usually we try to figure out a bit about the guest, what they like, and you know what their life story is, innit? But I feel like today we're gonna go down a kind of different route, innit?
Yeah, no,
We're
definitely.
gonna chop up this topic right now.
Go.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be talking about a footballer called Mauro Icardi, because he's been on a
Mazzoline, fam. He's been breaking all the male codes. You see them? See that Matrix script that was written when us males were born, innit? And you had your good role models, your uncles and your dads, and who told you not to do certain stuff. He went and did everything.
It's like when Apu breaks up with Manjula.
Yeah. And Simpsons, yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah.
It goes wild, like
Yeah.
these 10 kids or whatever. Like,
That's it. That's bad.
Yeah, Cardi, you're moving wild, bro.
So for anyone who doesn't know, he's an Argentinian footballer who currently plays for Paris Saint-Germain, affectionately known as PSG, and it's about him and his wife, Wanda.
Wanda been doing a lot of wondering.
So, okay, on the 16th of... I'm just going to read all the information that we can get into it, okay? So, on the 16th of October, Wanda, who's also Mauro's football agent. Yeah. Madness. Okay. It's mad already. She unfollowed him. Yeah.
Look at the culture you live in. You see that I unfollowed him? That's joke.
Okay.
Imagine unfollowing your husband. That's
Okay.
mad. So, she unfollowed her husband, deleted a series of pictures where they were pictured together, and then she took a picture with her ring finger with no ring, saying that I look better without my wedding ring on.
She did this all on social media.
Bro.
This is so, when you got to think,
To quote the bad boy, women are scary, bro.
That's so why is that the first thing you would think to? Oh yeah, okay.
Bro, treacherous in this dunya, you get me?
It's madness.
Yeah.
So okay. Then Mauro posted some pictures that made it seem like they had got back together, and then she came out and she was like, "Nah, Bridget."
Is it them sexy shots? Or are we going?
No,
is this
so
a
it
bit
was like
followed on?
Yeah, so it was like
Okay.
pictures of them together, like cuddled up.
Oh, okay.
So it made the gram think, oh, everything's
Yeah, back to the usual, yeah.
And then she was like, nah, it's really not, innit? And so a lot of people have said that the reason that the two split in the first place is because Mauro was cheating with like another Argentinian actress. She's like an actress, and she done a couple of things like that, innit? Her name's called Maria Suarez, if anyone wants to look her up, innit? And see. Yeah. And then this is where the thing gets techie, yeah?
Let's go.
I have to go back. I'm sorry to do the whole story thing. I have to go back to go forward.
Yeah.
So there's a guy called Maxi Lopez. Yeah. Maxi Lopez was like Mauro Icardi's big brother when he was first starting in football. They played together in Argentina, and I think they played for like Sampdoria or one of them clubs like that. Yeah. And Maxi Lopez ended up taking Mauro Icardi into his home to meet his lovely wife. Guess what his wife's name was? Wanda!
Told you, fam.
Yes. So
This lady,
Huh?
yeah. This lady been.
Pardon?
I was waiting for the penny to drop, you know.
So she all right, carry on. All right, I'm
She
coming.
been
I'm coming
moonwalking
for
all
her,
over
you
the
know?
place.
You know, like this whole thing is like, oh, he cheated, but I'm coming for her as well. Because all right, go on, carry on.
Yeah. So eventually, things happened, and basically, Mauro Icardi ended up leaving with Wanda. Yeah. And I'm gonna add the kids, because the kids got awarded custody to the mum, Wanda. Yeah. So Maxi Lopez now has no wife and restricted access to her children.
Kids,
yeah. And then Mr. Mauro Icardi got my man's kids tattooed on his arm. Now I wanna know your thoughts on this, innit? Because whether you think that stepdaddy, innit, has the right to ink the kids.
He's only 28. No, right. So age doesn't matter. But how long had he even been there to even have that kind of like title in their life? Do you know what I mean? Maybe like 15 years down the line it might be. But if you're like a few years in and you're doing it, I think it's a bit odd.
Wild, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a bit odd. Yeah.
I think even 15 years down the line, Sheffins, my bro. Fam, you see, you can't come into my house and take a man's Xbox. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're mocking it.
Yeah, and then tattoo Halo on, on your arm.
Yeah, that's mad, bro. That's wild. And I know it's a possession thing, but it's very peak.
So the reason I brought all of that up is later on, after Mauro Icardi posted those loved up pictures, Wanda posted a picture with her and Maxi Lopez. It's so messy. I hope you guys can follow along.
They're made for it. They're made for it. Like this is they're made for each other. Then you know when you think this is crazy.
So then he wrote a letter in it. I'll read the letter very quickly. To Wanda,
Mad.
Once again, I have shown you that I am telling the truth. I never lied to you or made up anything. I just made a stupid mistake. You are making a big mistake and don't realize it. All you want is divorce. I am a good person and I've given myself completely to you. And you know it, and everyone knows it. I am a great father and great stepfather. I give my life for my children to make them happy. I am all of this, and no one needs to say it. It is enough that I know. As a result of all of this, I tell you that I can't carry on with your mistreatment. You're belittling me. You're taking a piss of my life like you always do. All this and much more. I am not a shit, and I don't deserve it. I hope that with all the material things, you will be happy. This is already in your power. Now you want to fuck around.
Now you want to fuck around,
bro. You want to write to other men. I hope the next player is 1% of what I was with you. You screwed this up for a shit chat that meant nothing to me. You're blind and can't see beyond the phone. Just mind the bullshit and send stuff to the press. I never expected that from you. But I'm a realist, and I know people change. Thanks for all we have been. Thank you for the 2 daughters you gave me. Thank you for giving me the support I needed, and sorry for being the shit I was and losing everything due to a mistake. I hope you're happy. You deserve it. And if not by my side, I hope you find a place to be happy. Now.
Yeah, he did that though.
Yeah, and now there are rumors circulating that Mauro Icardi has agreed to sign a contract that will give his wife Wanda, because they're not divorced yet, complete control of all of his assets until 2000 and
mad, isn't it?
2050.
Yeah, wouldn't it like he's gonna be like
mad
60 years old?
2050. Yeah, he will be 57 years old.
This guy's crazy.
You know?
Do you know what? Yeah, and he did it the wrong way around, didn't it?
Let me just give you the roundup. Yeah. It says that it means that Wanda will be the sole owner of a company named World Marketing Football, which the couple set up while Icardi played for Inter, and it also gives Wanda his image royalties from advertisements as well. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen.
So tell me what you want to know. If he's an idiot.
Okay, first question.
He's an idiot.
Wrap
up the podcast.
Is this waste behavior? Yeah. Or is this a man who is deeply in love being in the public eye? And discuss.
Mad. He's stressed, fam. But I think, let's say you there, innit? Like, what more can we say, innit? Like, it's not about being in the public eye, because as we always speak about, yeah, as you grow up, you develop behaviors, innit? And those behaviors shape how your life goes moving forward. You made a blanket statement, yeah, and wrote a letter that made it seem like you had chest in what you were saying, innit? And then you supposedly recanted and gave away all your assets and your wealth.
Allegedly.
And then spoke about the fact that you're a good father providing for your children, innit? But you just gave away all their assets, brother. You don't actually know that
To their mum, though.
Do you know that the mum's going to use it responsibly? Have you put anything in the contractual arrangements, if, you know, it's allegedly true, to protect them? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, all you're worried about right now is getting back a chick that you stole from somebody else. And you know what they say? If you stole a chick from someone, she could get stolen from you. Word to cadet, innit? RIP and that. So, I don't understand what we're doing here. Do you know what I'm saying? To your 57, my brother. So, all right. So, if charity starts at home, yeah, how you doing any charity? Because right now, you are brat pocket.
Yeah, you're solely reliant on her. I feel like there's a... All right, before I get into what I want to say, yeah, Lou, what is your view in regards to the question?
Their foundation was already built on like shaky ground. So them keep building on top of that was only going to go one way. Like, okay, there probably are some stories in life where people might, you know, end up it being amazing and, you know, they go on to live a happy life even though he stole her from someone else. Or the thing is, if you can be stolen, then was you really that person's in the first place anyways? So yeah, but their foundation was really shaky. So the fact is that now this has happened, and she's then taken control. She probably sees it as, by her having control, she's then going to keep him a kept man and maybe he won't cheat again. But that's not going to, this is not going to help anything. Like, by taking control of his assets and of him, that's not going to stop him from doing what he's doing. Like, if that's what she thinks, that she's going to have all that control so he can't do anything. She, like, I don't know.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you hear the man's cheated and then you're like, oh, poor woman. And then you actually look at all of it and like, no, this is actually dead. Like, all of it. Like, it's actually, it's not, you're not really that poor woman, because even doing that stuff on social media, that's putting up a picture of her and her ex, and or that's all dumb. Like, that's.
I think it's mad. Like, first of all, how's your woman gotta be your agent?
Yeah, let's start there.
Because I feel like it's one of those things that really young couples in love would do. Because, I mean, I have a level of sympathy, because imagine being extremely young, and extremely rich. Yeah. And you're in the public eye. Like, you got guys like Diego Maradona, innit, who hate your guts. Like an Argentinian legend who played football.
Yeah.
Like, Mauro Icardi just come on the scene, and immediately, like, this guy hates his guts because he sees him as a traitor.
Yeah.
Like, Maxi Lopez took you into your house and you left with his woman. You feel what I'm saying? And so you're young and you're under all of this scrutiny. You're already on a bad foot with the nation that you represent. You know, and so I feel like, of course you're gonna.
But how old was he? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
But of course you're gonna cling to. But he's only 27 now. 20.
Yeah, he's only he's only 28. So how long has this happened? The time frame of this.
I think they've been together for a while. You know.
It's crazy.
But this is what I'm saying. Of course you're gonna cling to that person, because you done burnt bridges. Like your big brother who took you under his wing. You can't go talk to him. You took his woman. You feel what I'm saying? So of course you're gonna cling to her. And I feel like she's finessed the situation. I don't want to turn it into a female blaming thing, because he has some culpability as well.
Yeah, he has to do some self-reflection, bro. I'm sorry.
Slithering, fam.
Yeah, no. I don't rate his thing. I don't care how young you are or whatever. Bro, do you not hear me? You are supposed to have good, disciplined people around you, innit? And you had that and violated it.
Okay, so this brings me on to my next question, yeah? Do you believe this is karma, or whatever you think like karma is? Like, because it's like coming back to bite him because he yammed another man's apple.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, I feel like he's got no humility in the matter. Do you know what I'm saying? So, as I've said many times, innit, like I was taught a lot of my understanding and reasoning through life from biblical text, innit. And David put his best friend on the front line. Do you get what I'm saying? To take his wife. But there's a level of humility there and understanding as he grew up. Do you get what I'm saying? That this was not the way to be in it in terms of a person.
Yeah, but do you feel like...
And I don't think Mauro Icardi's got to that.
But do you think, like Lou said before, he's 28. So we judging him prematurely? Because he could look down the line.
Fam, I'm 30 years old, bro. Are you telling me that man doesn't have sense? You can't reflect at 28 years old? Come on, bro. Like, no, I'm not buying that.
Like, do you know what I feel like? Sometimes I feel like...
Fam, you gave all your peas to your woman. You couldn't get a wellness coach. Fam, you don't know what you're doing in your life, fam. Don't.
So this is what I'm saying. Like, I feel, when people get a lot of money really young,
yeah,
I feel like it's a cheat code to life, because
of course
a lot of the things that people have to deal with in other ways, you can throw money at it. And this is, when I look at his behavior, that's what he's doing. He's trying to rescue his marriage, and the only thing he knows how to do is throw money at it. Like, okay, you don't trust me. Let me work on how to be more trustworthy in your eyes. If your relationship's really, you're really trying to save your relationship. Instead of saying, all right, here's all my assets. You've solved nothing.
But if you strip that all away, then it's like, you got to see, that would be the realness of it. If you strip that all away and then try to save your marriage. Like, imagine if that none of that was there. Like, none of that. What about us normal people? If none of that was there, it's like using it as like a catalyst to kind of like, it's like the circuit, isn't it? It's all there, and it's like you put that there, and it's then going to work.
Yeah.
But I think part of the issue is that the person he's chosen to do it with, this cycle has previously worked. Do you get what I'm saying? So you're learning a pattern of behavior, but he's not realizing what the root of the problem is, isn't it? And the root of the problem is that he hasn't done enough self-reflection, to figure out that the catalyst to all of this is the woman that he's chasing after so much. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, you have to understand, all right, you took her from somebody else, Do you think if you was a pauper, do you get what I'm saying? Do you think you could have finessed your man's chick? Do you get what I'm saying? And you know that because you wrote in your letter, that all you want is wealth. And materialistic things, isn't it? Yeah. So then you come to that conclusion. So now you're even more of an idiot, because you see the Bible says, if you if I can't remember what it says like basically if you understand, innit, like the gospel, innit, and you understand the situation that you're in, then there's no longer any sacrifice for your sins, innit? Because you have an understanding of what exactly is going on in life, innit? So
if you lay with a scorpion, you get scorpion. Yeah, man.
That was the most F way of putting it. Do you know what? Someone was saying that, innit? They were like, like, it's funny to hear Nigerians speak, innit? Like, because they're so poetic, innit? Not that I'm referring to the fact that you're Nigerian. But, that they're so poetic, innit? So instead of saying, people are plotting against me, innit? They'll be like, oh, my enemies have conspired against me. You get me? Like, so it's mad. But yeah, bro, like, it's exactly that, innit? Like, you've identified the problem, and now you're blindly looking at the situation. Like, bro, like, I don't rate it, innit? Like, I don't rate either of them.
So let's go back to her. Do you think that this could have been, she's a master manipulator? Because when you think about his age, I know age shouldn't always be what we refer back to, but right, he's 28. So look, I don't know when they got together. Have you seen what she looks like as well? She's not. She's she's hot. Like she's hot. Let's not deny that. She's very hot. So like him seeing that her at a young age and getting caught up in the whole sexual fantasy or whatever, and stealing her, and her probably coming, like, I don't know how it came about, but you could only imagine maybe sneaking around and all that. But and I've heard lyrics from people before, like, we all want to stay in a hotel, but do you want to live there? So it's like he's had this holiday or whatever, this little Rome, and then now coming away from it, things have got real and deep, and they're in a marriage and kids and this and that, and he's still a young man. Not to say that, not to give him excuses, but maybe it was that thing of she wants all of this stuff, like, the wealth, the money, that kind of life. So it's like, does she have like manipulative tendencies that because look at her, she's now got control of like everything, maybe.
So wait, was that the first girl you linked?
No, obviously, I think he's dated before. Obviously,
No, but I mean, like, serious thing.
marriage,
We don't know.
I think that's his first marriage. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
for
suppose
me,
maybe then, Kyle, you know how men don't get finessed in their first.
for me, I feel like. So when I was looking at it, there were a lot of articles that said there were alleged grievances, or there was trouble in paradise with Maxi Lopez's their relationship, innit? Maxi Lopez and her, and so apparently Icardi came to know about that. Now I don't know how he knew, but I'm assuming she probably things are not going so well, and I'm like, raw. If you're a woman who's doing that, you need to shut your mouth, innit? Like,
unless Maxi told him still.
Like, why are you telling? Yeah, unless Max. And even if you're a man, like, why are you telling a next man about your romantic relationship with your wife? Do you feel what I'm saying? I think there's too much of that. People love run off and tell their best friends, "Oh, bro, she's being this, she's being that, this, that, and the other." And you give people license to speak on your marriage, to speak on your relationship when they don't know the intimacies. All they're going on is the information that you've given them, which is biased because you're pissed off.
Yeah. No, definitely. Fact.
And so I think if that's what happened, then she's culpable because she invited the snake into the garden, so to speak. You know, because he didn't need to know that there was there was trouble in paradise, and she shouldn't have been the way. Like, I've always said this, yeah. If you're in a relationship, it's not on the other person to stop trying to chat you up. Yeah. So if you're in a relationship and, like, for me, I'm a married man, yeah. Somebody comes up to me and it's like, "Oh, you're a sexy man, this, that, and the other." She's not at fault for doing that. She's shooting her shot.
Yeah.
Me, I'm the person with the responsibility and the obligation to say, you know what? Thank you for your very correct assessment.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that. I knew it. I was waiting for it.
Yeah, you know. But obviously, I'm with somebody. So this is where everything dies, isn't it? Essentially. And so I think if you're not willing to do that, then you open yourself up for trouble, and you're actually not worthy of being in a relationship.
So what if it was him? What if it was Maxi? Yeah. Because we did one side, didn't it?
Yeah. Then he's an idiot, innit? Because you're somebody who's a bit older. You are coming to the twilight of your career. Yeah. And then you invite this brother in. Yeah. And he's younger.
Yeah.
He might have a higher ceiling than you in terms of his career.
Yeah.
He plays at a time where there's more money.
Definitely.
Yeah. So he's gonna get more money than you. Yeah. And then you tell him about your problems with your hot ass wife.
Mad.
You just put the kill target on your back.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Especially, I mean, it's hard because obviously if you feel like that's your brody, then it's difficult, innit?
But do you think this is a typical example of the issues that we face today as a society?
Yeah.
Please elaborate.
So in terms of the fact that there has been many discussions, and I know we mentioned it briefly on the Mama Drama podcast, where individuals who exist within society aren't actually happy with the state of society, where finance rules, you know, where everybody is given equal opportunity to stay and equal opportunity to leave. You're seen as someone who has choice in the matter. You know, doesn't matter. You could be married for 50 years. You still have a choice. You know, don't worry. The choice is yours. You are a person. Nobody can tell you how to live your life.
More individualistic.
And, you know, there's no synergy between people. You know, guys see girls and it's like, yo, bum and breast. Do you get what I'm saying? Girls see guys and it's like, yep, a wallet 10 times bigger than my head.
I was waiting
do you get what I'm saying?
What do we see?
Do you know what I'm saying? And it's
and
that's you know the way that society is going. And it's like, okay, well,
and maybe elephant trunk as well.
yeah.
Some
Maybe
girls,
elephant trunk as well.
Some girls like all of that stuff.
So, you know, we become very material.
See, that laughs at everything. You gave yourself away there.
No.
So you putting people on the spot, sis. Hey.
Where's my halo? Where you at? Where leave it? Do that to me.
So yeah, like, do you think that this is literally like the Romeo and Juliet story of how we have influenced life to this point. You know, she's an independent woman. You know, she's his manager, and she makes her own money, and he provides money for her as said by society, innit? Like, raw, provide for your woman, then, innit? Like, I know Game's done a lot of talks like, raw, if you don't buy your girl, like, if your girl cleans the house and does this, innit, then yeah, you should be dropping peas in, you know, the jewelers and all the rest of it. So it's now obviously the expectation is, yeah, of course, like, yeah, he would provide for me. Do you know what I'm saying? Now he's saying, okay, well, you want provision, I'm gonna give you pretty much close to a lifetime worth of provision. So now what is it else that you want? But remember, the society says that it's enough. We as people know that's not enough, innit? But society says that it's enough. So in the equation in his mind, he's got tick boxes everywhere, innit? But actually, what we know about life is you've negated a number of questions. So the tick boxes that you've got are only in relation to finance.
I think this is an exercise in trust, because the whole reason that she seems to be so up in arms is that she suspects him of cheating with somebody, and he's saying, you know, you screwed it up for this chat that meant nothing to me, innit? Which means that he's culpable. Like, he did something to ruin her trust in him, you know. And I think that,
but trust was ruined from when you stepped out from your man. Do you see what I'm saying? So
no, but I don't necessarily think that's true, you know.
Really?
I think that makes them questionable characters, yeah? But they've been together for a while, after this incident.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like you're dealing with like people, you know what I'm saying? And people are messy. Like you think you're in love with someone, and then all of a sudden life happens. You had kids by them, and then you're not in love with them like you were, and they grow to be someone that you slowly dislike more and more and more in the context of a relationship. Because I heard this thing on the Stephen Bartlett podcast where this guy was saying, like, you can be in love with someone but unable to be married to them because they're two different things.
That's interesting.
Because being in love with someone is like a feeling. It's like a feeling. It's very spontaneous. You could do a lot of different things with it. But marriage is an organization of time, of resource. You do this to make this work and function. I'm going to do this to make it work and function. And you might be really good at the love part, but you might suck at the marriage part. You feel what I'm saying? And so some other person comes along, and then maybe you feel like they're better
fit for the marriage part.
Yeah, for the marriage part. And maybe you love them as well, you know. And then all of a sudden you find out that he's out here talking to younger girls, you know, who are more attractive.
But I just can't take it serious because, like, that's exactly what you did. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, where is the accountability? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what you're gonna draw on, isn't it? That, yeah, you know, he got wrapped up with another person and that, but you have to think about, okay, what does the behavior tell you, innit? Like, if something doesn't explode, yeah, or like do an immense amount of damage, innit, or doesn't have the attributes of a bomb, you can't really call it a bomb. Do you know what I'm saying? But if something has the attributes of a bomb, you're pretty certain that it's some sort of explosive. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like when you have the discussion around, accountability and the fact that he's seen a younger woman and started talking to a younger woman, well, that's the behavior that he portrayed, and that nothing has changed, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? He portrayed that behavior. You portrayed that behavior. So let me ask this. Then becomes acceptable.
So let me ask this question, and I'll probably start with Lou when I ask this.
Yeah.
So, how would you deal with, say, for example, you were in love with somebody who you knew their relationship was on the rocks, and that person started reciprocating. How do you manage that in your eyes?
Say that again.
So imagine you have a really good friend, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
And you've been invited into their marriage. and you find yourself being attracted to their partner, and you observe that their relationship is pretty bad, and so you start talking to them, you're sitting together talking, and then they divulge maybe like that they're interested in you. How do you navigate that situation? You personally?
Well, for me personally,
polish your halo now.
Yeah, I know. You're staying up there. Wait for it. You're staying up. Do you know what? For me, I always live by the thing of like, if you can be stolen, then let them steal you. But if someone came to me and was like, it was my friend's partner, whatever, I'm not stealing nobody. I'm not even. It might not even be stealing. It might be just being given to me, and I'm happy. Like, not happy to take it. They might want me to. No, because even if I had any little feeling, you need to shut it down, because there are so many people out there. Okay, this might be your person that we all have multiple people in life, that we live different loves. Like, it's not, we don't have a love of our lives. It's like we have loves of our life. Like, it's not, we can have soulmates. It's not one. It's singular. It's not. It's not just one person. Otherwise, we'd all be screwed. Do you know what I mean? We're not penguins out here. Like, we're not finding that one mate and that's it.
Wolves
like,
as well. Wolves
yeah,
mate
well,
for
do you know?
life.
Yeah, it's not. So I think it's that one. If that happened, I think you really like self-reflect. You need to look at yourself and think: is this what I want for my life? Is this what I want to bring into my life? What's going to happen down the line? Yeah, it could be good now. We could have the best few years of our lives. It could be. You could go on to. This could be your forever person. But at the same time, you really need to look at the other side of it and think: I'm going with someone that's coming out of something super messy, and then there are so many people out there. Why am I gonna go
for
there?
that person?
No, like I feel like no matter what, like you need to just shut it down and remove yourself of anything. Yeah. Like no.
Mr.
Halo, Mr.
It's shining.
Yo,
dog.
Fam, I'm still trying to comprehend that man got the youth's names tatted on his arm, innit?
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
But I suppose if I was in that situation, innit, I'm not really on it, innit? Just because of the way that I've been raised, innit? Like, that's literally it, innit? Like,
no
trust
Cain
me.
and Abel settings.
Yeah, bro, trust me. Like, there's scumbags where I live, innit? Don't get it twisted. Not everybody is like this, innit? But again, kind of to echo what Lou was saying, is it's like, bro, this is mad. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm starting our relationship off on a mad thing. Like, so first of all, let's go to the fact that like you already have kids with this man, innit? Now, that's not to say that people who don't have kids, like who have kids, can't be in a new relationship. Of course they can. But on one side, there's no consent. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's not two people who have split up and have made the decision that, they will co-parent, and that you're a new person sliding in, innit? The first fact is that he never consented to that. You just stole his woman, innit? So that's the first thing, innit? The second thing, is on top of that, now the children have to go through an unsteady situation, because you were unable to control your desire to want something that you potentially shouldn't have had, regardless of whether they gave you that inkling that you could have it. We understand through the bounds of what was going on in it, non-consent by the first person, that there was no consent there in it, so you shouldn't have touched it in it. I think that's not to say that the female is a possession either, in it, because obviously she's free to go. Nobody's saying that. You just need to be clear with your man and just be like, listen, this thing ain't working, innit? And that should have been the start of the discussion, innit? Then at least you would have had time to make a happy home and say, okay, this is the kind of thing that we're going to do for our children to make sure that our children are settled within, the both arenas, innit? And then I think on top of that, another reason why I'd say no, is just because like, that's supposed to be my boy, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you were riding with me when people weren't riding with me, innit? And he's like, the reason why I think he's so dumb as well, is I'm like, raw, you didn't even think about, you as like a icon of Argentina. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you, regardless of, because the thing is, whenever I think about people who receive an influx of money, I always think, where did you receive that influx of money from, innit? And who is accountable for that, So, like, for example, if I go into a business meeting at work, and I mess up the operational stats, and that means that we don't get funding for something, yeah, then I am directly responsible for messing up the funding stream that is supposed to come into my organization, isn't it? Your funding stream is the Argentinian people.
And the French people.
And the French
obviously
people.
He plays for
Yeah, and he
Paris
plays,
Saint-Germain.
yeah. And
so maybe he's saying, I'll just kick it with the French for a while.
yeah, maybe, but that's even that. Yeah, to me, you're on dodgy ground. You see, like when we discussed about when you're a male in it, growing up, there's just unwritten rules in it. Do you know what I'm saying? You learn not to take something that's not yours, in it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it always,
but I feel
always
like,
gets sticky.
I feel like there are certain people who abide by those rules, and there's certain people who are just like, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
But then I look at, but that's a funny thing. I don't mind that, but then I look at the fruits of their labor. And very often, it causes problems later down the line. Because it just builds up weird traits. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a sour grape, innit? You're like, fam, I'm not expecting that. You bite into it, like, this is nasty, fam. The first thing you want to do is spit out. Because the traits aren't there, innit? So, yeah, no, I'm not really all for that, you know?
It all falls back to love as well. People use love as the reasoning. You know, like, every person's version of love is so different, but they might just be like, well, I love them. I've fallen in love. Like, we're meant to be. That's it. You know, like them lines there. And then they once you said that, it's like, full stop. That's it. Like, do you see what I mean? They'll be like, well, we fell in love. I fell in love with them. And it's like...
End of story.
End of story. That's it.
Yeah, I think it's weird because this idea that you are in relationships for love is very new. Like, so much of human history, that was not the reason why people got into love, especially people who had money. People who had money, who had a name. That's not why they got married. They got married to further business interests, or, you know, to unite two kingdoms, or these were the reasons that people got married. The poor people got married for love. The dumb people, innit? Like, you have no assets, of course you're gonna marry for love. You know what I'm saying? And then it's slowly become this thing where it's like, actually, that is the most virtuous reason for being in a relationship. But as you see now, I think we're finding out that pushed to its extreme, there are issues there. You know, because you get people who wake up one day who are like, I'm not in love with you. To hell with all the rest of it.
But the thing is,
I need to live my life the way that I need to live it. And then the person's like, well, ain't that a bitch?
But this is the thing that...
kids together, and you're telling me that because you don't feel a certain way, we have to because what you're saying now, we can't live together.
But love is not virtuous, bro.
We're
like,
gonna have to move out of our house. It can be.
Yeah, so it can be, but I think this is where the kind of, I think this is where it goes left, innit? Like, virtue, is tied to humanism. Yeah. And humanism is tied to ethics. So if all of those things are linked, then technically, just by having what you want all the time because you want it, that cannot be virtuous. Do you see what I'm saying? Logically, ethically, if I'm going to take everything that I want for my own, because I believe that's virtuous, then you're going to take everything that you want because that's virtuous. What does that lead to, bro?
Dog eat dog.
Yeah, it doesn't actually make any sense, because what if I decide that what you want is virtuous to me, so now I want what you want? There's certain things...
Popcorn! Pow, pow, pow!
But I was talking, remember, Sarah, it kind of then goes back to even relationships and being with a one person. What it didn't exist once. Like, I don't know what I've watched. So, you know, like, it might have become a thing of like a caveman one day went, you're mine, and just took a one woman and was like, you're mine. And then if any other caveman wanted her, he was like, no, she's mine. And then it was like, then it became that there was two. But I spoke to you about polygamy and monogamous and all of that sort of monogamy and all that sort of stuff. That are we, even as a society, forcing that? Because naturally we weren't like this, obviously many years ago. It was a societal thing of like,
I think
everyone went with everyone, but it's only one day someone must have gone, oh, you're mine, I want you, you're we're just going to be together. And that's how obviously then the whole duo relationships like
so I think that it's the move, and the idea that you're an individual has been massive. like the story of the individual. And before, nobody had a problem with uncertain paternity, like who the dad is, right? Because a village raised children together. And so I don't care whether she's your kid or whether she's his kid. She is part of the village, and the village takes care of the village. Yeah. And so you didn't have to have this thing where I'm the dad. I'm going to take care of you, because everybody helped to do that role. Yeah. But as we moved away from that and we became more singular and we moved to different areas for jobs and things like that, now you have to have a serious thing, because it's like, nah, I'm not taking care of nobody else's kids, you know? And so what does that lead to? That leads to a single monogamous relationship.
It's also property and finance. It's also property and finance, you know, like think about it. When you're married, you own a stake of, you know, your husband's wealth, and, you know, vice versa.
And with your kids as well.
Estates, you know, so imagine they're like, okay, well, who really looks after the kid? Well, the village does. Do you get what I'm saying? People are going to be like, okay.
Who's entitled to this plot of land? The village.
The villagers. Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? People are going to be like, what the hell is
Will out to? The village.
Yeah, bro, it's wild, isn't it? So, it, like, you, as you said, isn't it? You have to start to put labels and things. You have to start to say, okay, well, this belongs to me. That later on in life, I will claim the assets of what this is, isn't it? Like, so, for example, when they do look into people's heritage and they find that there's a long-lost auntie somewhere, so all the wealth should go to the long-lost auntie, innit? Well, if you had the village, innit, then that's going to be a bit techie, innit? Yeah. And first of all, it ain't nobody getting paid nothing, because you're all getting 0.01p, innit? Yeah. It's mad, so.
Yeah, and so I think that's what it is. And I think I said to you something along the lines of polygamy, I feel like it's fine until you have children. Like, I feel like it's fine, it's all fun and games until you have to do that business part of a relationship. You know, that enterprise where you do this, you do that, who's going to discipline this child?
Yeah, that's mad.
All of those things, you know.
Imagine 20 people trying to discipline one child.
Yeah.
That child's confused.
Or like even two. Like, imagine you have an open relationship and it's quite a simple agreement. There's one man, there's two women. And you have the woman who's not the biological mother trying to discipline the other mother's children.
It's never going to be equal. As much as people think it will, and you can try your hardest, there are going to be moments where it's just not equal.
Yeah. And so I find that there's not that many polygamous marriages. You know, without the whole ceremony. I mean, people who I find it's a lot of people who are, for all intents and purposes, single. Like they're not married, they're not affianced, they're just, you know, they're having a relationship. You know, so I think, like I've said before, I think once you move into having children, it changes the dynamic. And for me, the easiest way in order to do that and to achieve some balance is a man and a woman, because a woman's going to give certain traits off that a man can't give, and a man's going to give certain traits off that a woman can't give.
No, definitely.
And then hopefully what you achieve is a balanced child, you know, who can access being considerate sometimes and being this sometimes, but leans the way of their gender.
Well, children work to routine, isn't it? So it's like, if you don't have a routine, then the whole thing kind of falls apart. So it gets techie when there's more than one person involved, or more than two people, or more than three people, because of that simple fact, you know, that if you don't have a routine, everyone's just jumping in. Imagine you just put the baby to bed and someone's jumping in and taking the baby out of bed.
Yeah, because it might all work in the bedroom, your setup, but what about like
real life situations?
Yeah.
A child bringing up a child, it might all be lovely in the bedroom, you know.
And it might not be. One person might be dead out.
Yeah, you know? That's wild, isn't it?
You have had a relationship with this one person, and then a new one comes in, and she's just fuego. You know what I'm saying? She could do the waist action. She could make it pop. You know what I'm saying? Stand on her little hands and do all of that. And then you're like, I don't want to sleep with this other dead fish. You know what I'm saying? She's a deadbeat. And so like she's trying to get in on the action, and you're like, wait, honey, wait. You know what I'm saying?
But why do people always think? Why is that always like a solution? But why do people think that's a solution when things are going a bit dead and you're like 10 years in your marriage, 20 years, whatever? Why do they always think bringing someone else
into the
in?
relationship? Yeah.
Why? Where does this come from?
It's different, innit? And it's risk and it's taboo. You know, because I think as you get older, you can start to harbor regrets about your life, and one of the like regrets is that you weren't adventurous enough, and so one of the easiest way to address that, you know what I'm saying, is inviting someone into a relationship to like spice it up, you know. And I've said before very candidly, innit, if you feel like you're gonna cheat, in your relationship, like you're just like, I got this itch in it. I want to scratch it. I can't help it. You should probably talk to your partner about having a threesome. You probably should. Because if you're not going to do that, what festers in your mind, because then once you lay it out on the table, you get to see whether it's a stupid idea or not. But once it stays in your head, it just remains a fantasy. There's no one to poke holes in your dream. And so it intensifies till all you can see is the good parts of cheating on your partner. I don't, she won't know, this, that, and the other. It'll be fantastic, whoever I do it with, and I'll last an hour and a half, you know what I'm saying? And all of this stuff. And then you do it and you feel like shit. It lasted 2 minutes. And do you know what I'm saying? And then you got to go
the reality of the situation.
Your head all snoopy and that.
So like when people think they're the one, when they're in relationships, they're like, yeah, man's the hot one. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm that guy. Do you get what I'm saying? You come out of the relationship, and all the girls that were hollering you in the relationship, like just radio silence and that, and you're like, wait a minute, 1 second, let me just reevaluate, innit? What the hell is going on here? You know what I'm saying?
You realize how difficult it was to get a woman or a man that you wanted to be with.
Yeah, no, definitely.
In the first place. And now you're back in this jungle. You got to compete with the man then with the 8 packs. You know what I'm saying? Going out in the Zara tops tight as shit, you know?
I am the man with the 8 packs. No, I'm joking, I'm playing.
You know? And you got to compete against them guys, innit? And them girls are like, should you be in bed? Like, where's your slippers at, old man? And you realize that this is a savage time, you know? And that I feel like there are seasons for things, innit? And I feel like not to rush people, innit? Because I feel like now where we live so long, most people, we live so long, there can be a delay to like the marriage side of things, not necessarily the giving birth, because women, you only got a short time, innit? Short window to do that. But I think there is still a bit more time. There are women having the kids in their 30, like late 35 and this, that and other. So there is time in it. But I do think there are seasons for things. Like I don't like some of the things that I liked when I was 18. My view has changed. I've seen more of the world. I've matured. And so there are things that I can't talk to an 18-year-old girl as a romantic partner. They drive me nuts. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. I just think with the whole dating thing, it's very important to understand like what you have and whether that's worth protecting. Because sometimes you can be in a relationship and actually it's not worth protecting. It's draining. You feel terrible all the time. You argue with one another. And your kid, if you have kids, then your kids see that as well. And that doesn't set a good benchmark for them too. So I think it's one of those things where you have to take those things into consideration.
No, definitely.
And yeah, man.
100. I think these things are always techie, innit? Because I think you have to try and consider a balanced argument, innit? So, although I think my man's a waste man, innit? Some people probably think that he's protecting, you know, what he has, innit? And that actually maybe he's looking forward to the longevity of the decisions that he's making, innit? But, no, I just think you're an idiot.
So let me ask you this question. Say you caught your partner cheating.
Yeah.
Like, not suspicion. You walked in and he's got her in a camel clutch. You know what I'm saying? Going mad, yeah? And she came out and she had a lot of money or whatever. And she made this grand gesture. Like an incredibly crazy gesture, yeah? That would enrich your life in some way, yeah? would that be enough to get the camel clutch out of your head?
Nah, bro, because then you think you think you can do that all the time, just drop peas in there. Because you got to think about the cycle, bro. You know what you're teaching that person? Like, you're teaching that person, yeah, that basically if they do that any time, it's all blessed. Nah, man can't have that. No, that could never be me.
I can personally say I've been cheated on a lot of times, and I didn't see it or walk in on it, but I found evidence, and and that was bad enough that I had it all written. And I had to have that then in my mind, and I couldn't unsee it. And then looking at that partner, it just killed everything for me. Like it literally killed everything. And you know the way that then you used to look at them, and then they've done something that has just taken away your trust and everything. So no, like no amount of money. Yeah, go on.
No, I was gonna ask, did you try to reconcile it, or once you found out, did you just say like this is done?
Yeah, because it was like, you know, they did it a lot of times. And I don't mind talking about this because it's not a secret. It was someone I was with for very many years, and they'd done minor things over the years, like, you know, talking to girls, all that kind of stuff that, you know, we could maybe push aside because you've got children together and you're trying to, you know, build something. And we're young, so again, I'm pretty sure there's probably a lot of people out there have been through certain little things that you've pushed to the side because it wasn't full-blown cheating. It's like a low-level cheating.
Yeah, so you give a pass,
give a pass because you're like, nothing's happened, you know, it was that. But then it kept progressing and getting worse and worse, and dating sites and just so many things. And then finally, in the end, I had suspicion, but then I actually found like the evidence for it, and then it was kind of like, okay, so you've probably been doing this quite a lot because this doesn't look like your first run. So then, there was no going back after that because everything else before that had just built up to that. And I think even if it was a one time, it's still the way that I felt from it. I couldn't believe that person could actually hurt me like that and would want to make me feel like that. They might have thought, I'm never going to get caught. But what about the what if? Did you never think the what if? And then that pain I felt, and then how I looked at a person, I was like, nah, like it's completely just gone. It's so mad how you can love someone 1 minute and then it just goes away.
Because you don't know them. Like, you feel like... Somebody said that. I think Jordan Peterson said, like, people can tolerate a lot. Like, people are very resilient. But one of the things that they find extremely hard to deal with is deceit. Because it shatters your image of what you thought the person was like.
That is exactly it. Yeah, that is exactly it. It was like, I know that I can tolerate a lot. Like, I can tolerate a lot. I've done it through life, and even sometimes I still do. I'm like, why am I doing that? Like, stop doing it. But I think it's just one of those things that, you know, we do. But that showed me when I was younger. I was like, nah, can't. That was a straight. Even if you're so in love with this person, I think you really have to like peel it all back and strip it back and be like, they actually didn't mind hurting me. Like, even if I would never found out, they still sat there and did what they did, and then come home. Oh, hi. Like, could you like imagine?
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah.
Imagine, like, that's all crazy. Like, imagine doing that the other way around. Like, have you seen them things that float around the internet when the women are all boasting that they've gone on holiday and they've slept with and then they've I've got a partner at home. Yeah. And then they go home, hi babe, and they've just been dicking it down and like,
Afro Nation.
Do you see? Do you see what I mean? Some of these people could be 5 years deep in a relationship, 10 years, 1 year, it doesn't matter. But you'll go home, hi babe, and people feel no way, and that scares me that people feel no way to do that and then go lay next to you and carry on as life is normal.
For me, it's always like the thing that gets me the most and the thing that makes me mad in it is that you can go say hello to that person's mum.
Yeah. Kissing her cheek.
Yeah.
Hey.
Wild, isn't it?
That's just that's a different level of brazen.
And do you know what's mad about the whole situation? Yeah, I feel like even when you confront a person who is like that, there is a level of delusion about how severe what they're doing is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, and they
it was just a one time.
Yeah, it's a minor, bro. Like,
and imagine if it was already like, that it wouldn't run like it, and you've got hard evidence right there. Oh no, but it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Like, where was you putting it then? If you wasn't putting it in her, where was it going? Like,
But do you know what? I can't lie. People
That's
like that,
wild.
yeah, finesse people, yeah, a lot with charisma.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
Because they're able to be more than one thing, which is considered desirable in our society. You know, they're able to maneuver within that. So it's like, oh, babe, yeah, but like I know guys, yeah, who have things, yeah, and the girls that they're sleeping with know that they have things.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So
Bro, I've had women like try to stick it on me. And
Bro.
their opening statement is, I know you got a girl. At the time, we weren't married, innit? But like, I know you got a girlfriend.
see, it's wild, isn't it?
Like,
So
so why are you talking to me like that?
So you see, when I talk about the state of society, yeah, we can see that it goes both ways. It's like both
Oh, yeah.
males and females, yeah, in this current state, feel that this is acceptable. So
Because
actually,
they want what they want, innit? Like,
but actually, so this is becoming our norm.
yeah, but I don't necessarily think that it's just this time. I think that it's happened bare.
it's like progressive.
Yeah, I think now what's happening is people get caught more.
Yeah.
There's more
Very true.
cameras. There's more
Social
like,
media,
bro, I
someone
know.
just DM you.
I remember I worked in a sexual health clinic. I had somebody who found out about their partner cheating because
you said about her when I saw you said it in the last in one of the podcasts, and she was like, "Yeah, but I haven't been with anyone else. I've just been with my partner." And you was like, "Well,
yeah, no, not that one.
Oh,
not
is it
that
that
one.
one?
Yeah,
There
it
must
must
be
be the
bare.
best stories.
Listen,
Bare
there's bare.
stories.
I got a vault of stories,
oh
innit?
no."
And she found out because the guy's phone was linked to his Apple
ID.
computer or
No.
whatever.
Yeah.
So she went on
Mm.
And it
everything. Everything,
Oh, yeah, 'cause it
all
all
the
backs up,
messages.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
no.
that's how
Yeah.
she found out. And so the technology now is
Vast, bro.
it's
Yeah.
exposing people,
Yeah.
you know. But before, look, if you drove 15 minutes or 20 minutes away beforehand, before all the social media, and slept with someone and you came back, nobody's knowing. If you took a trip to Newcastle and slept with somebody and you came back, nobody's knowing.
Yeah.
But like social media now, bro, people gonna know you were in Newcastle.
Yeah, ASAP.
You tell them with your location.
Yeah.
Or when they take pictures, if you've
Yeah.
not seen it,
Yeah.
when they look at the background, and they put it together,
Yeah.
done.
And then you're done.
Done. It's a wrap.
You know, and so I feel like these things between men and women have always been a way, but we're so much more aware of it now, and it's made the culture pessimistic. Like everybody's bare suspicious. Like guys are suspicious of women.
I'm so, that's the right word. I'm so suspicious. Don probably knows. Don knows.
Yeah.
And that's it, because I feel like as well, women have always been bad, but I feel like they're so bad now because they're like they're like catching up to the men now. Like I'm not doing no men bashing, it's not that. But you know, like it's always been known that men are worse for things. Men are more cheating. But I think women now have always been doing it. But I think they're catching up now. Like you just said, they're so brazen now. They just want what they want, and they'll fully go up to a man. They'll touch them. They'll do whatever, and it's like it's just nothing, innit? Because we're women, we can kind of get away with stuff. So I feel like they're even more sly with stuff, and they don't mind trying to, you know, move to a man with a girlfriend or whatever. Like they do it in front of them.
Man, there is OnlyFans now, bro. Like, are you deep in how mad that is? You see, when I was growing up,
I
yeah,
didn't lick my lips on purpose. It was dry.
Zoom in on that bit, yeah. That's the zoom in. Sammy's sitting there like, yeah.
No, you know why? Yeah, because I know people. Like I know what people are gonna be saying, innit? Like,
hey, that's funny.
That's a zoom in moment.
Yeah, it's mad. But yeah, you see, bro, it's crazy, innit? Like that. There has been an understanding, a universal understanding in it, yeah, that a new industry can be created off of the lust of men and women.
But you know what, yeah? I was reading this article and it was talking about the rise of things like OnlyFans and why it seems to be more popular than standard forms of pornography. And it was talking about most people think it's a sexual element, but the real reason that a lot of these guys pay is because the girls are extremely attractive and they respond.
Yeah, and it's like real time. Not like, it's kind of like real time, isn't it?
It's like you're talking to your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know, and so
That's
these,
mad,
and so these
bro.
lonely guys,
Mm.
you know, they're like, I can't wait till she gets on at 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That's
and then,
crazy,
and
bro.
so they're because you gotta remember, like, you're Mr. Zara, yeah. So you just walk up into the place, innit, with your little cane rolls and that, and then.
But if there's a Zara, if there's guys out there now, I'm looking down. Oh, where's Zara? Mr. Zara. I'm gonna like refer to. Are you Mr. Zara? Stay out my DMs, man. I want you, Mr. Zara.
You know.
But you know what's mad,
in the place, all swag, yeah.
But everybody says this, yeah. But man, like, fam, like, as I said, innit, my relationships, man, could count on one hand.
Yeah, I know. But I don't
like.
I'm not saying.
Yeah,
that.
no, I hear what you're saying.
I'm just saying that, like. So for you, yeah, maybe approaching the woman, maybe you might be shy or apprehensive, innit? But you've got the framework and the tools to do it. Yeah, you can talk to women.
Okay.
Nah. No,
actually, yeah, to some degree, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, you can.
I just don't like doing the whole roadside thing, like, yo, babes.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying.
You can hold a conversation.
Yeah.
But some guys, like, it's such a milestone to get to the point of talking to a woman, innit? Yeah. They get there, they're all shaking like they're on amphetamines. They're sweating, and they're like, I just think you're beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, that's mad.
Do you know what I'm saying? And so for them, like, those relationships, like, I feel like they're unhealthy, innit? Because if you have to pay somebody to constantly be your friend or your lover and stuff, like, I just think it's a bit strange, innit? But so and because you never grow, like, if you can keep throwing money at the situation, you never learn how to actually go out and speak to women.
There we go. So Mauro Icardi, he ain't growing. That's you family smashed the thing. He's not growing. That's what the problem is.
He jumped into a situation he was not ready for, and now he's so deep in it. The only thing he's thinking about doing is giving her control of everything, because he's like, he doesn't want to lose.
He's not growing.
He didn't grow enough himself, like, to know what he maybe wants in life. He's taken something from someone because she looked all lovely and shiny with a big old this and a big old that. And, you know, like, he got, like you said, breasts. He was all like breasts, and that's it, like, you know, whatever. And I feel like he then was so distracted by that. They didn't, like I said, strip away everything, strip away all the money and everything. Would she have wanted to go with him? Would he have been able to take her from him? Would she have gone willingly if he wasn't who he was? Did they have a connection past all of these little add-ons? Take away, really, even with anyone's relationship now, take away all this stuff. Do you have a connection away from social media, away from all these little glamorous money, whatever? Like, he weren't ready. Like, he just wasn't ready.
Because there'll be people who are like, I feel like, you know what? I feel like, you know when they say, like, a woman is tested when a man has nothing, and a man is tested. A woman is tested
when a man has everything.
Yeah. I think it's a bit like that, isn't it? And I think there are moments in your relationship where you realize, like, this person is actually in my corner. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the times when you're really wealthy, it's very hard to find that.
I was about to say it screws up the mentality, because I was speaking to someone yesterday, innit? And they were talking about Pete Davidson. Do you know who he is?
The guy who's clapping cheeks with Kim Kardashian.
No, he's not. That, I feel like that's a setup.
All right, so
nah. Doesn't Kanye want her back now as well?
So he went on the Drink Champs thing, and he was like, as far as I'm concerned, we're still married, innit? All this time, she's.
All right, so that one of the things that was discussed in it is why Pete Davidson seems to be so attractive in it to women, because he dated Ariana Grande for a bit as well.
Yeah, he did, so and he stole her as well.
So basically, all right, so now you're touching the point that man's gonna come on to.
Okay. Yeah? Symbiosis, bro.
Yeah, love it still. No kidding, navel. So basically, the discussion was, do you think that is any coincidence? It's not ironic that when females come out of relationships, they are extremely vulnerable. Like most people, innit? Even with guys as well. And that Kim Kardashian and both Ariana Grande had been through a number of relationships, innit? Now, that's not to say that Pete Davidson is an ugly dude, innit? Like, he probably has something that they find attractive. But one thing that people know about Pete Davidson is that he doesn't take himself too seriously. He's actually quite a funny guy, you know, and he's willing to go out there and do things that other guys pretty much won't do, like paint his nails, for example. And that can seem extremely attractive when you come out of a relationship and all you've been dealing with is mad stress. Like, because
familiar to them. He's been around, hasn't he? He's
connected
to the family.
And so you see that, that sometimes is more powerful than people understand, innit? Like, as I said, like, Kim's now got what, 3 children? 3? 4? Is it 4? 4. So she got 4 children with Kanye. She had that basketballer before, and Chris Humphries, and then Ray J, and bro, she's been through it, innit? Like, to be honest.
And I think she's not. Yeah, it's Kim Kardashian, but she's 40 now.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So
40,
do you think that Kim Kardashian's current state of mind, is that actually I'm winning, I can get anybody that I want, or do you think that she's like, if I can be in a state of bliss, a state of euphoria, and this is created for me, this is probably the best place that I should be right now?
Yeah, I think it's hard, isn't it? Like, I think that women are judged super harshly as they age as well.
Yeah.
You know, and she's, I don't know, it's very weird because she's been critiqued for certain aspects of her body, innit? But simultaneously, because of her and her family, they have completely changed what the expectation of a woman is supposed to look like.
Definitely.
Do you feel what I'm saying? And so there's 2 edges to this sword.
Yeah.
And as a 40-year-old who's just got out of a relationship with someone who is now a billionaire, you know, and is this mercurial, like, I don't know, genius / madman. Yeah, it's like, of course, somebody who's just about kicking it and having fun.
Yeah, vibes.
They just seem attractive. But then for me, it's like, I don't know. Like, for me, I kind of feel like...
How long are you going to do vibes for?
No, but I don't even feel... I feel like, raw, this kind of has Maxi Lopez vibes all over it. Because it's like, you know she's not divorced yet. And you're more than happy taking pictures, holding hands and knowing that her husband, has suffered with some form of mental illness. And you still have no problem parading around and doing all of this stuff instead of like maybe being what we call like an honorable man and saying like, listen, I do want to be with you, but we ain't doing the whole public thing until you serve papers, he signed this, that, and you're divorced. Maybe it's not finalized, but you both agree that you're going to get a divorce, because sometimes divorces can take time dividing up assets and all the rest of it. And then you just say, look, get me. I'm here for you. We can chill with, but this whole public thing, I don't want to rub your husband's nose in it. Like having a sense of decency.
But they're also famous.
Yeah, I understand that. So then that means you have to...
You got to put more parameters in.
Yeah, or just agree not to be together until that's I don't think that's an unreasonable request.
No, it's not.
You know, just serve them and the papers.
But it's not an unreasonable request. But I suppose the query is, are they smashing or not? Because remember, we did our episode on when a man thinks that it's time to smash, what the culture does and what biologically what happens in the man's mind, innit? Like research and study shows, innit, that they're likely to be more risky. Do you get what I'm saying? They just want to get off their nut and then, you know. Yeah, exactly. So in his situation, if he is whacking it, innit, then that's very crude. If he's making a lot. No, joking. But
she don't get no love making now. Like, it's no.
Then he's. Then it might be a thing where that is affecting his judgment. Do you know what I'm saying? Cause all he's thinking is, "Raw man's pressing Kim Kardashian."
Yeah,
that's got to be a mental. I don't know. I think the first time, you kind of might be thinking to yourself, this is Kim K. You know, but obviously familiarity breeds discontent, disrespect, whatever you want to call it. So the fourth time, you just like put your head in the pillow and shut up.
Man's doing not Zeus and that,
in an MTV.
Welcome to Kim's crib. We've all been here. Like.
It's wild.
Yeah, Ray J was just in the next room. Mad.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is where we're about to call it a wrap, baby.
So, Lou, where can people find you if they wanna not get in your DMs, but they wanna?
Yeah, we said this last time.
Follow your.
Yeah.
No.
I was gonna put the disclaimer out, innit?
What is my name again? I need to think of a new name. Anyone got any suggestions? And put it in the comments.
Yeah.
But it is Lulu Emma at Lulu Emma. Yeah. That's what it is, I think.
Fantastic. And ladies and gentlemen, you know where to find us. www.thefamilypodcast.co.uk. That's where you go for your episodes and all the rest of it. And if you're in YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, like, tell your friends, tell your mama, tell everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We're on things this year.
Yeah,
Everyone love
yeah.
chat, but not chat about the right things. Like, tell all your friends about the podcast.
That's
you know?
what I'm saying,
Like,
man.
you love chat, but don't want to chat about the right things.
Yeah.
Tell them, look.
Energy.
Hey, so my name's Sammy.
My name is Don.
And we've been the family.
Bow.